Welcome traders to this video where we're going to be looking at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So it's quite fitting that we wanted to make this video about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin more specifically, just because that we are in fact getting more involved with the cryptocurrency market. Internationally, the world is getting more, is using the payment platform as more of a actual form of currency. And obviously there's different ways of investing in it and tactics that you can use. So we're just going to discuss our history with the coins and where the potential markets are going to be going in the future. So if you have a look at like the cryptocurrency market as a whole, obviously starting back in 2008, it's a fairly new emerging market which is quite hot at the moment in terms of hype and people trying to obviously make money from. The amount of data we have on TradingView on BTC versus USD is from around 2011, and personally myself did get involved in BTC around the probably first started looking at 2015 and then actually getting involved around 2017 to 2018, which is when we're going to pull up some analysis. So recently I did break down BTC briefly, also looking at some of the history of our chart. This was back in early 2018 when Bitcoin was around $8,400 per coin, and we were looking for breakout to the upside into new highs of $20,000 per coin and then all the way up to 34,000. Was looking for that, I was looking for a fairly quick explosive run up to that 34k around 2019 2020. It did fulfill around 2020, and 34,000 is around this mark here, and then we did in fact surpass that and come all the way up to 50 and even in $60,000 per coin, which is obviously a huge achievement. It's been such a huge market, and there's been so much actual manipulation involved with how the investments have been going and how people have been getting into the market in the first place. So there's two ways of really investing in it. There's obviously buying and holding coins, whether that be in your online wallet, Binance, Coinbase, that sort of thing, or you hold it in cold storage on ledgers, which is basically where you take it offline and then put it onto a device where you're storing coins for generally more amounts of wealth. Or you can actually trade it on margin like you do with Forex or other markets. Trading on margin, generally speaking, in terms of the viewpoint of how most people are seeing try and get into the market, is a little bit more of a risky approach, which is true to an extent. Obviously you do need to be wary and you need to have your wits about you and also have a strategy. But you need a strategy with any investment method, whether you're buying and holding the coins long term or you're getting it in for a much shorter term trading style on margin. You need entry strategy and exit strategy, and a lot of people don't even get into the strategy behind it. They just want to put their money in because it's a bit of fun and they want to hold it. I think if you're actually holding it for it to be actually become a future currency, is probably a strategy. But a lot of people have certain time frames in mind where you can't really be doing that in the crypto world. It's more of a case of you want actual physical target price points where you're going to be getting out of, if that is your aim, to actually make a profit out of the market. But there's new ways, and obviously it's becoming more of a form of currency, more recognized form of currency around the world. Many countries are now making it legal to actually use it as a form of legal tender. So it's becoming more and more known, and the hype is obviously growing massively. And it's quite fitting that we have here at Forex Traders UK, we are actually accepting Bitcoin now to sign up with your funded packages when it comes to getting involved with us, getting more funding. If I go to a checkout here, we can see that if you scroll down on the checkout page, you can actually pay via PayPal as normal, credit card as normal, or Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And it's the same with when it comes to actually making your profit target, and it comes to paying traders out, they can actually request to do so through cryptocurrencies. So as well as investing, it's also a good way to actually move and manage and utilize the actual usefulness of crypto, which is, international payments are quick payments anyway. We just send it from one wallet to another wallet, and it's done, it's just so swift. So actually using the platform to its uses, it has its advantages as well, especially for international payments, where it can become a little bit tricky, whereas Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies just keep it even and swift with the whole process of actually transferring any amounts of money from one person to another person's wallet. But coming back to the actual investment side of crypto, so as mentioned, I have had a bit of history personally myself. Around the 2015 to 2017 is when I was getting into the market. I was actually fairly new to, obviously, this emerging market, but I was actually trading it on margin, which I know is technically the more risky approach, but I was using a sufficient amount of evidence, many confluences to actually influence my trades, but I was actually buying and got out around 2019 overall. I haven't really delved into Bitcoin. I do hold some of the coins of the altcoins, but a very small amount. But when it comes to Bitcoin, I haven't really touched Bitcoin. I've been monitoring it and sort of studying it as time's gone on, but not really getting involved too much with it. I've just letting the price breathe and play out as accordingly, because it is a very manipulated market. And whilst many people are now becoming aware of that online through all of the memes and all of the videos and the horror stories, it is a good idea to keep your wits about you if you are looking to actually make money out of the market. Especially if you don't come from an investment background, or you don't study markets or break down markets or look at any kind of technical analysis, fundamental analysis, or even risk management. So obviously you do need to be well structured when you do come into the market. As I've said, you need a strategy. Exit strategy is most important. So looking at simple forms of technical analysis, obviously we have ranges, we have range heights, zones, resistance, support, and a bit of Fibonacci going on. If I look at the so I've applied on a fib here today, so I'll just put on the significant low here all the way to the significant high. We can see a pullback into the moving averages, and on the monthly here we are looking fairly bullish, if I say so myself, looking at the way that we've actually handled the monthly moving averages. Although looking at the Fibonacci, if you take this point as A, this point as B, we didn't quite meet the C retracement at 61.8%, which is around the $27,000 per coin. So potentially between now and Christmas, sort of at the end of 2021, I do think that we could potentially hold in the range between the 42,000 to the 27,000. So we might end up trading it back in and around the 35,000 region. I think this is quite a high likely probable case, perhaps a touch of 27,000 once more before we actually start looking for movements higher into new highs, looking into the years to come. It's a very much a long-term investment. I think hopping onto the hourly and studying the market on Bitcoin is quite a bad strategy if you're actually looking for long-term investments and sufficient directions of trades, because it is such a tricky market that you do need to study on the higher time frames, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. Ideally, even going down to the daily can become a little bit manipulated when it comes to looking for sufficient key levels. And here on the daily, even though we can see we pull back into the 200 daily moving average, the technical analysis here is looking a little bit bearish on the daily, especially if we start taking out 40,000 and then into the 39,000 handle. We are actually going to be breaking down quite swiftly, I would say, into the 30,000s, lower end 30,000s, and then even into the 27,000, which I think could be achieved with pinpoint accuracy, maybe taking out the lows here. Could be a good idea, actually looking for potential like sort of rallies off that level, use that as a platform, and then drive a little bit higher. Obviously do your own research, but I do think that Bitcoin could potentially drop a little bit further, as mentioned, for many reasons. And yeah, obviously do a decent amount of research if you do get into the market by any means. But obviously, it's we did want to also give the information that we do accept it now through checkouts and also paying traders out. That's it for this video. Just a quick summary of cryptocurrency and our sort of history of Bitcoin, and where potentially the markets are going to be going to. Stay tuned for more blogs to come, and trade safe.